It's day 248 of Zohar Pshat, and we are the second last line of Zayin base. We said that the Kfura Moshe Rabbeinu in Chutz La'aretz remains symbolic of the Geulah, which lasts until Tchias HaMesim, until the Geulah comes. And it says here, Ukvuras Adilei Mishnah. This Kfura represents Mishnah you. V'leda Kvar Kfura say Ad Yom Ha'adain. Nobody knows where his place is, where he's buried until this day. Kfuras Adilei Mishnah. His Kfura is Mishnah, the Shalta Matronisa, which governs the Shechinah. Di Kabbalah Moshe. The Mishnah, Torah Sheba'al Peh, was received by Moshe Rabbeinu, and it controls its implementation, its learning, its entirety, since Torah Sheba'al Peh relates to the totality of Jewish life, controls the Shechinah, how much Shechinah is revealed in this world. And that's the Moshe, everything goes back to Moshe Rabbeinu. And there's the king and the Shechinah, the queen, so to speak, is separated from her husband. I think the Malka here refers to the Bala. It's the same thing. So I'm just unsure about that, but I think it's the Malka. There's the king and the queen is separated from her husband, meaning that the interaction between the two of them is limited by the extent to which Mishnah is operative. And the lack of full Geulah, which Mishnah represents. And, it's when Akiva darshan, and when Moshe Rabbeinu came to hear his drasha, Masechus Menachos, and Moshe Rabbeinu did not understand exactly what was going on, according to what the Gemara says, is Nispais Odaito when Rabbi Akiva was asked how you know something, and he said, Halacha Moshe Misinai. And I think the idea here is the same idea which we're discussing here. Rabbi Akiva represents, obviously, the Talmud, which explains the Mishnah. And the Mishnah by itself, it's the source for everything. And everything comes back to Moshe Rabbeinu. But it can't be complete until the Chachamim in each generation, represented by Rabbi Akiva, who is the sorcerer of Torah Sheba'al Peh, come and elaborate it, expound it, and bring about the enhancement and expansion of Torah. And the truth is that all of the generations which come about through the Geulah are all enhancements and extensions of Torah Sheba'al Peh, of the Mishnah. And Rabbi Akiva represents to us this drive to extend Torah further and further and further. So, Torah Sheba'al Peh, for example, cannot be completed until there are refrigerators. Because how can you have the Torah Sheba'al Peh about refrigerators if there aren't refrigerators? It's an ongoing process. It all relates back to the principles of the Mishnah. Basic principles of Hilchos Shabbos, or whatever other halachos we're dealing with. But till then, there's the separation, and there has to be this work at connection. Begin da, and then we have as a result fulfillment of the pasuk Tachas Shloisha Log Za'aretz. The land was pasuk Mishnah, for 3 reasons the land was in turmoil. Tachas Eved Yim Kim Limloch. And one of them is because of the Eved who reigned. Who's the Eved? Doi Avdi Yediyah. I don't know. The Sulam says it's Malach Matat. I find it very difficult to accept. So Sulam obviously was way higher in his knowledge than me, and everything he says is very profound and based on solid ground. But Lu'ed Varav, I would say that the Avdi idea is the Yetzer Hara, the Eved who's Molech, and all of the history is the Shifcha da Mishnah, right? You need to have the grappling of how the Shifcha is going to deal with the Eved, who's trying to usurp the authority of Torah. And the psukim themselves are actually 2 separate things. Tachas the pasuk Mishnah Lamed Chabes Tachas Evekim Loch V'Novak Yisbalechem in the next pasuk. Tachas nua kiti bo'el v'ndi shivcha kiti rash k'birto. So the shivcha is not really grappling with the Eved, but it's the shivcha is taking the place of the Geveret, which presumably is again till the Talmud is fully complete. The Mishnah is operative, and it's obviously in the service of bringing about the full Mashvanisa, the full Shechinah, when Torah Baal Peh reaches the extent to which it's supposed to reach. But in the meantime, we have an Evet Kiyimloch, which is part of the problem. But it's part of the solution too, because all of the challenges which the Yetzer Hara and the Satan and all these things represent, they're L'Shem Shamayim, in order to bring about new understandings and new applications of Torah. So the Nova Kiyis Balechem, which is part of the problem here as well, is the Erev Rav. Am Navav Lo Chacham. It's Erev Rav, the foolish and non-wise nation, and of course that's part of the problem, that the Erev Rav is not intellectual. They're not helping to enhance the Torah the way that would be ideal. There is elaboration in the Tzutze Zohar about references to Am Navo being not just the Amari Oretz, but also Gonaval Achisem, Gemara Yavamas, Samagimel, Eilat Stoikim, Shehema, the Kavli Raisa, Velo Chakim B'Tarish Bapeh, which fits in very nicely with what we're saying. In other words, they impede the development of Torah Baal Peh, and that way they impede the coming of the Geulah. So therefore, in order for the Geulah to come, the Mishnah has to be expanded from being the Shivcha into the Geveres, which is includes all of the Talmud. Has to be done by eliminating the Tzedokim who don't even hold in the Mishnah, much less the Gemara, and have to be the Gemara has to be elaborated and development of Torah Shema Peh through the generations. And finally, of course, not the Avda Yediyah, the Eved who usurps the throne, the Yetzer Hara, which prevents all the challenges, has to be put back in its place as not the governing entity, but rather the entity which serves us, in order to be able to continue to develop Torah the way it's supposed to be developed. And then, evidently, the Kavod Moshe Rabbeinu will be revealed, and Torah Sheba'al Peh will have come to its perfection, and the Geulah will come. And that's the end of that Maimer. Then we start Od Pasav Amar, which will be for tomorrow.